Welcome back to the Garage Therapy YouTube channel. So this is vlog 2 and today we're concentrating on the passenger seat and the driver's seat. We commence the cleaning by brushing out all of the debris from the seams of the leather using a detail factory brush. You can use any detailing brush with soft bristles. It's a good idea to use a compressed air gun or a blower if you have one to blow out any stubborn debris that the softer brush can't move away, and in this case I take advantage of the blower to do just that. Putting some 3M precision tape now on the passenger seat to show the 50-50. I decided to do a long line down the middle of the seat as I'm going to clean the whole seat today. It's a good idea to wipe down the seat with a damp microfiber towel as I did with the steering wheel, and with it being a seat you may get some dye transfer or some uh, you know dirt coming from the clothes or where people have eaten food, so it's always a good idea to give it a wipe down, get any of that dirt off the surface using water, the least aggressive method possible.
Must admit, these seats for 12, 13-year-old cars really, apart from top of the bolsters here, which seems to have some creasing, really good condition.
The seat actually wasn't too heavily soiled. It's actually in decent condition on the passenger. Being a passenger seat, it probably hasn't had much traffic over the years, as with the driver's seat. Nevertheless, still wiping it down and making sure we go through the whole procedure um, as we did with the steering wheel. We continue to use Polestar Mix 20:1 to saturate the seat and start working in with a colour lock brush, working the product all over the seat. You have to be particularly mindful of the seams and the stitching, as they're a little bit more sensitive than the flat areas of the seat. So you'll see me holding the brush ever so slightly lighter on those sections and taking note that I am running the brush over the stitching and not to cause any fraying or unnecessary damage whilst cleaning.
Aggressive, even with this soft hair brush, you can start to fray the stitching, the thread. What you can do is use a detail factory brush to just get the lather up.
Once you finish working the chemical into the leather, I use the saturated microfiber just to mop up the chemical away from the seat, and then buff off with the softer into detailing 300 GSM plusher microfiber. on the back of the seat I'm using quite a lot of chemical, not that because there's much more contaminant there or dirt, but it's just to make sure that I've got enough chemical to work with as I'm lathering the chemical up and working it into the grain of the leather. Very little pressure is being applied. As you can see, I'm still holding the brush with my fingertips and just lightly going over the leather as it's relatively crease free and in good condition, so there's no need to go too aggressive on there. So I'll remove the 3M tape to inspect my work and see if there is a big difference between the unclean side and the clean side. On the video you can actually see on the back portion of the seat that it is cleaner. However, in person, due to the low light conditions, it was actually a bit more difficult to see the unclean side versus the clean side.
This side's a little bit matte compared to this side's a little bit shinier. But to be fair, the seats are in decent condition considering their age. So I'm going to carry on and clean the rest of the seat.
So this was meant to be a video just concentrating on the seats. However, I decided to clean some of the other dash areas as well, seeing as I was on my knees down in that area and had easy access to it. With a car like the Porsche, where it has genuine leather all over the dash, it's important to give every area of the car a good clean with the chemical. As I'm cleaning the lower portions of the dash, you'll see me getting a bit distracted as I spot dirty sections of the dash that I missed previously or didn't quite notice. So I'll take the time to make sure I go over those areas thoroughly and give the same amount of care to those areas as I would any leather surface. The handbrake is quite heavily contaminated. It's pretty shiny, as you would expect with people obviously applying the handbrake when they park up or in traffic. It looks a little bit marked and bruised, so I do apply quite a bit of pressure actually to really get in there and really work the product into the grain of the leather. And you may be able to see, but the uh, the foam from the cleaner is actually goes quite grey, so I'll quickly wipe that away before doing any further work in that area. With the central console cleaned, I move on to applying Leather Star to start treating those sections that are high traffic, especially with hands, and make sure that I apply a good amount on all surfaces so that the product works into the leather and makes it more supple. I really enjoy using Leather Star by Koch Chemie. I think it's a really good restorative, reviving leather cream. It really does help with the dye transfer and managing the dirt that goes on in the leather. All it requires is a nice uh, quick wipe down if the leather gets a little bit dirty with a damp cloth to bring it back to its former glory. It really does have a nice, almost OEM leather smell to it. It does smell a bit chemically, but I guess that's the charm of the product. That concludes this video. It was quite a quick video this time, cleaning the seats. We're tackling the sections of the car each day as it comes when we get more time to work on the interior of the car, bringing everything up to scratch, clean, and as best as you possibly can, section by section. It's important to take care in the interior, making sure that everything is given a good once over and nothing's hastily done and missed.